Hey everybody, what's up? Kevin here from the My Song of the Day Rock 2000 Today YouTube channel, and today I'm gonna be figuring out if I like some Mongolian heavy metal. That's right, I'm figuring out if I like The Who. Alright, so before we start this video, please follow My Song of the Day, Rock 2000 Day, on places like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You will get the 30-second Song of the Day feature on all of those platforms, and anytime anything gets released, like the podcast episodes, YouTube videos, whatever it might be, you'll find out there. Instagram is our biggest platform. We connect with you on every single platform, but that's the biggest one. We connect in so many different ways. We talk about many different things, like asking you what your favorite album is of a certain band. We put two bands together, ask you that kind of stuff. We also have IGTV videos, which is behind the scenes look at what's happening here at the My Song of the Day Rock 2000 Day, studio, I guess. What behind the scenes things are going on, what you can expect going forward. We also have Instagram live streams every single Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Central. Join us for an hour. We just talk and do whatever the heck we feel like, and it's always a great time. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel because you get many great videos every single Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Central Time. So you get videos like these where I try and figure out if I like certain bands or not. You get album reviews, band reviews, top 10 lists, top 5 lists, some special ones. Anything you could imagine under the sun, we do here. And this is also the channel where the Chord Progression podcast lives. The Chord Progression podcast is our very own podcast. We are unearthing the underground rock and metal scene and shining a light on all of these great bands that are going to be emerging in the scene and will be the biggest bands at the end of the decade. You can watch those videos right here on YouTube, or you can just listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Play. Link in the description below for everything, but let's get to this frickin' video, shall we? So when it comes to The Who, I first discovered them, I believe it was late in 2019, and I believe it was either a Loudwire article or a Kerrang article that I stumbled across, and I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting, you know, Mongolian heavy metal. However, I did not jump into it at all, and I believe the major reason was because I think I saw this like right at the beginning of November, and this was when I was like fully into Ice Nine Kills and getting into their music, so there was really nothing else you could show me outside of new Ice Nine Kills. I was so deeply into it. Plus, if COVID had not happened, they were going to be playing here in Milwaukee on April 24th, 2020, and because, of course, I was curious, I wanted to go see them. Now it's postponed. No one knows when that's going to be rescheduled, but the main thing is if they do come back, I was still thinking about going the first time, so I'm planning on going the second time. But I don't really know anything about their music, so time to find out if I like them or not. So when it comes to figuring out The Who, I'm going to go through 4 different aspects. The first is their music. I'm going to listen to their music, see if I like it, give you my thoughts on it, and we're going to go from there. Second is their persona / gimmick, what their image is, how they perceive themselves, and what that all entails within the whole entire grand scheme of The Who. The third is the community of fans, taking a look at that and seeing if it's a community that I can really jump into and see myself as a full part of. And then last, I'm going to give you the full verdict. Do I like The Who or not? So let's go. So of course, the first thing to do is listen to The Who's music and see if I like them. So, oh shoot, these ain't plugged in. My bad. Let's go. Well, now that that's done, let's run through the thoughts of it, shall we? So after listening to The Who and listening to their music, it can be described as what they described as Hanu rock, or what is a mixture between classic Mongolian music with an infusion of heavy metal. And that classic Mongolian infusion comes primarily with throat singing. And on paper, honestly, take a look at it and it works because that Mongolian throat singing has a more raspy and deeper tone to it and can be kind of difficult to hear at times. So it's very comparable to unclean vocals in my opinion. However, where the difference comes in with these unclean vocals and this throat singing is with the throat singing, the singer is able to produce 2 different types of pitches and notes all within their same voice, which is incredible because what they do is they use their whole entire body to create this like deeper bass note, and then they actually are able to produce these other notes with their words and with their mouth, so you get this completely different feel overall as well, and it really creates a great thing because you get the heaviness of it, which you're expecting in metal, with that deep bass sound. However, you're able to get a more clearer picture when it comes to the vocals as compared to unclean vocals. And why I like this is because, you know, you take a listen to it and you can get a real good mix with it, just with the way the construction of the throat singing is, with more of like a melodic style. So it's interesting, I'm not gonna lie. When it comes to the instruments that are used for the Who's primary instruments are focused more in classic Mongolian instruments with a little bit more of a metal twist and a little bit more of a modern twist. So taking a look at them, please keep in mind that I don't speak Mongolian. I might butcher the pronunciation of these, but please keep that in mind. So they use stuff like the Morinkur or the horsehead fiddle. You also have the Tovshur or the 3-stringed lute. You have the Tsur, which is the Mongolian flute, and then the Tumurkur, which is like a Jewish harp, I think. Or was the Jew's harp, I believe it was called. Yeah, kind of, so you get that kind of there. And then also, you listen, they do have some heavy metal instrumentation there, classic guitar, bass, drums. And on tour, they do have touring musicians with them that play those, but the primary source is focused in those classic Mongolian instruments with the modern twist. So you really are able to bring that Mongolian music culture into the music, mixing it with heavy metal, but with heavy metal more way in the background. So overall, do I like the Who sound? And the answer is yes, but I'm not going to go deep dive into it like I have with some other bands, like constantly having it playing in my earbuds, because I know given a certain style of it, it's cool, I do like it, but if I play it over and over again, I'm going to get sick of it incredibly quickly. So this is more of a, I like it, but I'm going to dabble in it less than I would some other bands that I really would be able to get into when coming to figure them out on something like this. So what I like about the Who's sound, and when it comes to their classic Mongolian instruments, I love the fact there's a lot of strings in there, and every time I hear strings brought into like a hard rock or heavy metal setting, I most of the time absolutely love it because it gives the song more of this epic orchestral feel, and more, not orchestral another way, theatrical is another good word to go about it as well, and it always gets you amped up, motivated, and something like that. So take a look at songs in the past like Not Gonna Die by Skillet and Like a God by Stain the Canvas. They include those in there as well, and it really does work out well for them. So with the Who, they use this to their advantage, especially with the Topshur and the Morinkur, because you got these string instruments in there that really give it that sound. Take a look at a song like The Legend of Mother Swan, and it has a much slower pace overall to it, it has a lighter feel than most of them, but the strings provide it with a feel like an ancient battle march going forward with the Huns and the Mongolian Empire. So I absolutely love it, and then the slight backing for the metal instrumentals, dang, that's actually pretty good. One other thing I like is the use of these more down-tuned and lower-tuned sounds in their music, and what I like about this is because it does give it more of that metal feel, and it's a lot easier to blend that Mongolian throat singing style, which naturally has that deeper sound to it, with more of like a metal instrumentation. It's just a very natural fit and natural flow with them, especially when it's on a more melodic sense. For an example, let's take a look at a song like The Great Chinggis Khan, where everything seems down-tuned, and what it does is creates this, more pounding march drive that's also incredibly melodic at the same time. And it just makes you feel like, you're getting ready for battle. This is a great song that's just like got a great drive to it with that darker, deeper tone. One other thing is because with the Who's very prominent Mongolian influence and Mongolian heritage in this, there's a lot of Eastern Asian styles in the music that you're going to see brought in there. And myself, I've seen some bands try and do some things like this, but with the Who, especially with the dedication to that heritage and that dedication to that style, it really does come out rather well. So take a look at a song like Song of Women with the prominent use of that Mongolian flute, gives up this great Eastern Asian vibe when it's layered with more of a down-tuned guitar style. So it just has this great layering overall to it that really adds a lot to the music. So why wouldn't I be able to just fully immerse myself in the Who and listen to them on repeat for like a straight month like I did with a band like Ice Nine Kills or a song like Popular Monster? The reason is because it's actually two-part. One reason is the throat singing, and do not get me wrong, I really like the inclusion of the throat singing because it gives up that unclean vibe but also kind of clean at the same time as well. However, when I was growing up, I did not really like unclean vocals at all. Once I started this project, I started dabbling in them a lot more than I had been with bands like Linkin Park when I was younger, and Tim McGrath would do it like very little for Rise Against, and then of course David Draymond with Disturbed. But however, like ever since I started this, like I've gotten into Emotional White, Ice Nine Kills. I mean, I get into a lot of these bands that have a lot of different styles, especially within metalcore. However, when I listen to the throat sing, because it's so consistent, is the standard, focal point throughout the whole entire song is that Mongolian influence. It's just somewhere I know after a while I'm just gonna get sick and tired of it, and I'm gonna end up putting it on the shelf after a while. That's why with a band like August Burns Red, who focuses almost solely on unclean vocals, I like listening to their stuff, don't get me wrong. However, at times it's gonna be like, okay, can I get some more mixture there? Can I get some more variety in there? So that's why it's gonna be something where it's like I can listen to it, I'm gonna enjoy it, but I could get sick of it after a while. One other reason is the pacing, and that's because you take a look at the pacing on the Who's tracks, and it's all very melodic because it fits in perfect with that Mongolian style. However, personally for myself, I like a band more that can just have all those different dynamics on different tracks as well, so they can go like fast-paced, slow-paced, acoustic. They can do all these different things. Take a look at a band like Rise Against. They're perfect at this. So in summary on their sound, do I like it? Yes, I really like it. It's unique, it's incredible, and everything works so well together. However, for myself, it's a sound that I don't want to overdo and over listen to because I would get sick of it rather quickly. So it's a yes, but for my personal stuff, I got to be cautious not to fall into that trap. Now it's time to go to the persona/gimmick section of this, and taking a look at the Who, their gimmick and their persona is so deeply tied into Mongolian culture that there's going to be a lot going on in there. And at first you're thinking, maybe it's just Eastern Asian, but when you really dive deep into it, they are so connected to that Mongolian culture, it is amazing. Taking a look at the logo for the Who, you take a look at it, it seems like there's like a Chinese dragon on there, and that's really interesting. However, the band has said that it's not a Chinese dragon, it is a snow leopard, and the way it was designed to make it look like it was zigzagging throughout the logo as it would in the mountains. And taking a look at the inspiration behind that is because the snow leopard is a very reverent symbol in Mongolian culture and also establishes royalty, so it's very much prevalent in Mongolian culture. I have a link in the description below of the band talking about this and describing how they picked the logo and why they picked the snow leopard, so you can see for yourself that this is deeply Mongolian and deeply connected with them. Taking a look at the image of the band themselves, I was looking at different photos, maybe some videos as well, and just trying to kind of get an idea of what it is, and it reminds me a lot of what they're trying to go with, this classic Mongolian culture look, also mixing it with more of a Western culture biker look. And why I think that's interesting, why I like that, is because you're still keeping a direct correlation with the Mongolian heritage, the Mongolian descendancy, and it just really fits in well with the music. However, you're bringing in that more heavy metal style with the biker theme as well, so it does work out to bring in, Mongolian heavy metal. They're really mixing the two together, and in their image it shows. Taking a look at music videos, you can see this work out as well. Take a look at the music video for Wolf Tone, because the video starts out with what looks like an ancient Mongolian warrior on horseback, ready to lead the charge into battle, but he ends up leading a bunch of Mongolian bikers, and the Who being a part of that. Then they're all kind of sitting around on a Mongolian countryside just kind of jamming out, which is pretty cool of a video, I'm not going to lie. But again, it just shows off what that image really is and the persona of the music of the heavy metal side and the heritage of the Mongolian side. Taking a look at the video for Yuve, you take a look at it, and the guys are all in that same kind of style where they have that classic Mongolian style, meaning Western biker culture style, while playing the song on different landscapes all across Mongolia. And it's really cool because you can get to see the connection within the country, the connection within the band, and how it all intertwines. One other great part about that video is you get a close-up on their modified ancient Mongolian instruments, and you can see all the symbolism that is on those instruments and how it directly correlates with Mongolian culture. So it's a full-on thing here. So when it comes down to it, can I really get behind this persona and this gimmick from the Who? And the answer is an incredible absolute yes. Ever since I was a kid, I was always fascinated in Eastern Asian culture, especially ancient Eastern Asian culture. So talking about ancient Japan, China, and Mongolia definitely falls under that category as well. I don't know why, something about it just fascinated me, so I was always interested in it. I never really pursued much of it, but it always had an interest in me. So something like this is really gonna shine. I love how they take that Mongolian heritage that they have and they double it down with more of a biker look as well to kind of really mix that Mongolian heritage and the heavy metal side of everything together. I think it's awesome. One other great thing I like about this band is they have so much attention to detail when it comes to everything around their Mongolian culture, to how they dress, to their instruments, as to the symbolism that is on everything. I mean, take a look at the logo with the snow leopard. That is incredible attention to detail. And every time I look, there's something new to unpack, unravel, and discover. It is absolutely incredible. I love this. Now it comes time to take a look at the Who's fandom and community, and really taking a look at it. They really blew up, especially in the fall of 2018, with Wolf Totem and Yuve being released as videos on YouTube, and the band just gained viral popularity from there. And because I really didn't know much about the band's fans up to this point, I decided, well, there's really no other place to go than social media or Reddit to figure this one out, so let's go. So looking at social media, from what I can see from the band's fandom, it is rather similar to a lot of the bands that I have seen in rock and metal when it comes to their fandoms, especially online, seeing how they connect with each other. The Who has an international fan Facebook page. It's a group. It's got about 366,000 members from when I checked and made this video. And taking a look at it, I was looking at who was posting, and again, it's a lot of people are posting the same things. They're posting different concert photos, different band announcements. They're asking questions about the band, different mergings. So there's a lot of camaraderie going forward. The thing that stuck out to me the most about this Facebook group is taking a look at the people that were posting, because while the majority of the people that were posting on this page were either in the United States or in Mongolia, you took a look and there were a lot of people from all these different places across the world, so you could tell that their fandom was incredibly international and not just, you know, kind of kept contained within Eastern Asia or within America here when they blew up and went viral. So on Reddit, what did I see? Reddit, I saw the same things I saw in the Facebook group. When I took a look at Reddit, people were posting videos, people were posting different things about the live stream concert they did for COVID-19 relief back in June of 2020, and they were just posting, you know, general consensus things about the band, like, oh, I love this band, this is why, kind of thing. And what I really enjoyed about it was, especially for a group that has such an international following, there was really no toxicity within this international following that has plagued a good amount of bands that have risen. Take a look at Swan posting with Dance Gavin Dance, where it can always be a thing where, oh, I'm a bigger Dance Gavin Dance fan than you are, what are you talking about? So there's a lot of that. And of course, baby metal as well, with people trying to just go off on that at the same time as well, along with other metal fans kind of coming into that group as well and basically trying to bash baby metal at the same time. So I've seen this happen with The Who. I have not seen this, so it's definitely a little bit different than what I was expecting. So is the Who fan community something that I could really get into or something I want to pass on? For me, I'm rather neutral to it. Taking a look at bands that I'm really big into, bands like Rise Against, Ice Nine Kills, and Disturbed, I've seen different things from their fan groups, and for the majority of the part, what's going on with the Who, with people talking about good things about the band, reposting things the band has posted to try and get more notoriety for them, and just general great consensus things, it's pretty on par with what I've seen from my 3 favorite bands of all time. So it really does hit on that trope. One thing that kind of stands out to me a little bit more is the fact that how big they are internationally. So when I'm going around, when I'm on different travels, it could be a really cool talking point with different metal fans, like, hey, what do you think about, you know, the Who? And everyone might be like, oh, we like the Who, we like them for this. Yeah, that's a great talk about. It's a great start to a connection. So I can easily see that happening. So it's something I'm on par with, but I kind of like it a little bit more just due to how international the fandom is. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So now time to give the verdict on figuring out the Who. Do I like the Who? And the answer is yes. In a nutshell, why I'm saying yes to figuring out the Who and liking them is two-pronged. First is their image and their gimmick, because they're so tied into that Mongolian culture with the throat singing, with the different instruments, with all the symbolism that's there, and everything around it. They're so tied into it, and with myself, I've always enjoyed ancient Eastern Asian culture and just kind of been fascinated by it. I always had a little bit of a quirky thing about that. And it's just really cool being able to take a look at this stuff, take a look at all the different symbols, and try and find something new and unpack it every step of the way, because the band keeps incredible attention to detail as that goes on. Plus, they also have a little bit more of that Western biker look to them at the same time as well. So it's a great mix, and I can't wait to see what this band comes up with in the future going forward. When it comes to their sound, I love the fact they use primarily modified Mongolian ancient instruments and have the heavy metal instrumentation backing it, so it really gives it a unique sound and connects with their heritage. Plus, with the style of singing they go with that throat singing, again, it is completely Mongolian, and it makes sure the songs have this more melodic and theatrical sound to them. So when it comes to sound, this is something I definitely have to be more cautious about, and the reason is because I do like the sound, I do like the band. However, it's a band that I could easily kind of get sick of real quick if I listen to them way too much. And the reason being is because when it comes to that ancient Mongolian throat singing style, yeah, I like it, but it reminds me a lot of how unclean vocals are in metalcore, where I like them as well, but at times I'm going to want a little bit of a mixture in there. So when it comes to a band like August Burns Red, who goes with primarily, for the majority of it, unclean vocals, yeah, I can listen to them, I like them, but I'm not going to listen to them all the time. It's the same thing with The Who, and I do not want to, you know, overextend myself on a band that has a great sound. So I'm going to be a little bit cautious on this one, but when it comes down to it, do I still like the band? Yeah, I still like the band. I can't wait to see what they do in the future. This is going to be insane. So that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys for watching me figuring out if I like the Who. It is an incredible yes, and I can't wait to see what these guys do in the future, if they mix more of that heavy metal sound in there or not, if they double down even more on the Mongolian sound, and the different types of symbols they come up with from Mongolian culture to include in their style. It's going to be incredible. I can't wait to see how this turns out, and that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys for watching. This is Kevin from the My Song of the Day Rock 2008 YouTube channel. Going to end with the hat flip. See ya!